Got two. Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How y'all doing? I've got two buttermilks here. One with a blue lid, one with a red lid. That's confusing. Come around down here. Let's whip up this cornbread because we're having some beef stew and cornbread. Now, several times I use this, people say, where'd you get that big bowl? This is Tupperware. It's called Mix and Store. There's a small one in this one. It's got a lid. I ain't storing nothing, so I don't need a lid. I'm going to use what's left here first. I'm probably going to need more. Now, I'm not putting an egg in this tonight. It's way too expensive to use an egg. But I'm going to put a little water in my jug, filtered, and that way I'll have a little bit of liquid in case I want something that has just buttermilk. This is buttermilk 2. That smells so good. It's good and thick too. So that's what I'm using. I've got my oven on, preheating. Let me step over here to my stove because I want my oil that I put in here to be real good and hot. So it's got to get, going. Whoo-wee. Now this is usually all we do to our buttermilk. Sometimes I will put an egg, but I've not tonight. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in it. And somebody put pepper in it the other night, and I thought, I ain't never done that, but I'm going to try it. Somebody said, you got to put pepper? I thought, evidently I didn't know that. But I put oil instead of the egg. You can do that. So I put a cup of Mama, what I put a cup of, not just cornmeal, it's called something else. I can't never get that part right. Self-rising cornmeal mix, and it's called, it's White Lily.
No, that's
3 Rivers. So it's a cornmeal mix. The other night y'all see me make yellow cornmeal. It was a little different. But I did put a little bit of, about 3 tablespoons of White Lily self-rising flour. And then, woo, that skillet hot. So that's about what you want right there. And a good hot skillet, which I've accomplished that. Mercy. Turn that off. It's a smoke gun. Wish y'all could see it. Ooh, it may be too hot. Can you get it too hot, folks? Look at that. Ooh, can y'all see that smoke? That means I left it on that eye a little bit, a minute too long. Bits are going to be fine. You're going to hear it start to do its thing. Now, I don't want mine real dry because I want moist cornbread. Here we go. Listen. That's what the sound of a successful crispy cornbread sounds like. Now, people tell you, you don't have to preheat your skillet. And they're right. You don't. But you see how that's already cooking? That's going to give me a beautiful brown crust. Y'all going to find out in about 20 minutes, maybe sooner. Because this stove's hot. The skillet's hot. In it goes for 16. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Come down. 15 minutes. I thought it was on minutes, and it was the second. I thought, boy, that is hot. What are y'all doing tonight? It's Tuesday here in downtown Oswego. Come right on over here. We fixing to fix some goodness. So I'm gonna.
Is this just water in this?
Yes, ma'am. So this eye is on, but y'all can see this one better. I just turned it off. I'm turning this one up to both eyes. This one's got option of having both eyes on or a smaller one inside there. In goes that leftover roast from Sunday. And I'm just going to put it straight on in. Just like that. One or two little hateful pieces. And even though I've already cooked this and it's tender, I'm going to put a little coffee in here anyway. Look how hot that coffee is. Now, you need to remember that this meat has already been seasoned once. This ain't just fresh cooked. This was the roast from Sunday. So it's got salt or whatever. We didn't put much salt, but it's got the salt that was in the gravy. Well, there was salt in that gravy we used. And we're going to put that in there. Just like this and let it get hot. Are y'all with me? Can you... Hi, John and Mama. Everybody hear me? I fixed some steak tips and... Oh, that sounds good, Brenda. So, once this heats up, you'll see it start quick. Excuse my throat tonight. It's a little... I don't know what I've done. It's not hurting. It just feels like I need to clear it often. You know how I feel about this here stove. Love it. Goodness, I just love it. But it's either on burn it or forget it. So I've had to turn on all the way high. Now this ain't just something wrong with our stove. It's just the way these are. Now it's starting to smoke a little bit. You see it there? See it and how it's doing? I want it to smoke good. Then I'm going to put about a good tablespoon, maybe tablespoon and a half of white lily self-rising flour over top of this meat. And we can put this up. Alright. Now, y'all know the rule about flour. It's raw. You gotta let flour cook. So once you put flour in anything, you need to let it cook, folks. About a minute, two, to get that raw flour out. Now right now, it's pasting up in there. Turned into a hot mess. That's what you want. Don't get nervous when it turns the way it's supposed to. Can y'all see that? Can you see anything from the steam? So that's what we're looking for. In a minute, that flour is going to do a great work. This is beef broth. It'll probably have a drop of salt in it. That flour is pasted up in there. That meat's pasted up in there. And that's what we're looking for. I'm going to turn it down a little bit right now. But then I'm going to put a little bit of beef broth in there to get that off the bottom. That coffee dried up, didn't it? But it done its due. Now, if you want to put any extra seasoning in here, right now would be a good moment to do it. The only thing I'm going to put in it is a little bit of pepper. Now you can see this. You can see it's already got a good gravy going. So I'm going to put a little pepper. About a good teaspoon. You can put a little salt in here if you want to. See how it's making its own gravy? That's what you want. You want that gravy for beef stew. Beef stew and cornbread tonight, folks. Somebody's favorite. There's a good chance there's somebody you know that would tell you, oh, that's my favorite. It's simple. It's easy. And see how thick that gravy is in there? Can you, though? Can you see it? See? It's good and thick. That flour's doing its job. That broth is in there doing its job. Now I'm going to add a little bit more broth. This is just Beef Broth Food Club brand. Now look at that. Pure goodness. That right there looks good. That right there would be good over a piece of bread and some mashed taters.
No.
I've got veggies up here in the stack cooker. Now, you don't have to do that. Whoops, sorry about that. You don't have to.
I make noise.
You don't have to parboil yours if you don't want to. But we didn't want to wait. These will be delicious, slow cooked in those broth and all that. And I'm gonna leave a little water in here because it ain't gonna hurt a thing. Ooh, don't put it on the hot burner, John. Get back. Ooh. See how I keep adding broth and it keeps thickening? That little bit of flour has made that beautiful gravy. Gonna go ahead and put some more broth. This is not the fast part of it, but we got cornbread in the oven. We got a minute. Keep working this around. Now, right about now, you might want to taste it. Do I need more salt? Do I need more pepper? Anything else I want to add? I'm not going to. I've made it enough I know. Now, I will think, well, it could use some salt, probably. But, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, could use a sneeze. Ooh, that pepper.
You're sneezing for pepper. I didn't sneeze.
Mama, I hope you didn't foot right around and caught something.
I ain't been around.
I know, you've been in quarantine. I'm keeping this going and I'm keeping it thick as I go. By adding a little bit and stirring it, letting it get in there, it'll thicken up. Now, if I was doing this for the first time with raw beef, I would have parboiled it in coffee. Let that cook out of it. Then I'd let it brown good in here. It would take a little while longer. But once I got my meat done, then I would have started this process with the flour. Wouldn't do the flour first till your meat's good and done. That meat is so tender that them chunks is just falling apart. And that's thickened up, and now I'm going to add the rest. Look how good that is. So let's rewind a minute. If you wasn't wanting to make beef stew, you can do this same thing right here and add maybe a touch more flour. But this will thicken right up. And use this and pour this over an open faced roast beef sandwich. Be so good. So good. But that goodness right there. Ooh, you can't beat that. Now, in this stack cooker, look at that. Hot as you could stand. I cooked these vegetables for 10 minutes. There's carrots in here. I'm going to test one. Ah, perfect. Carrots, onions, potatoes. Those carrots are as tender as your eyeball. Soft as they can be. And remember, I drained off most of the water. But those carrots are already cooked. Now, me and you could have stood here, probably 40 minutes. Slow simmered this. Got all them carrots good and soft, them onions good iridescent, and them potatoes done in this same pot right here. And they would have been good. But like I said, we'd have been here a good while getting it there. Mama, it's time for your blessing on this. Anytime I cook something like this, I like for Mama to tell me, it looks good to me, or yeah, I think we're done. She may want to add something else. That is beef stew. And it's got just enough time between now and cornbread season to simmer together.
You sure them carrots is good and soft?
As your eyeball.
That's my eyeball.
Mama, I tested them.
Oh, wow.
Here, you want to test one?
No. You're going to burn me up.
Verdict?
They're good.
Huh?
Just let them cook a minute.
Potatoes are done. The onions are done. Do they need to cook a while longer? The one I tried was absolutely soft. She's acting funny. I don't know what it means.
I'm chewing.
Is it not soft?
This one's a little harder.
Oh. Well, this one's a little harder than the first one I tried too. What does that mean?
I let it boil a minute and
Let it cook.
flavors will go into them.
Wasn't as soft as y'all bought on all of them, was it?
No.
But it did cook for 10 minutes, so it's pretty soft.
They're just, what do you call spaghetti
Al dente?
Yeah.
I guess they are al dente, Mama. Alright, so we got time. Gonna add a little water in there.
This is down to a minute. I'm going to have to add a little bit because it ain't even started yet.
Okay. Got a little water in there. Let me get my lid. Where is my lid? Oh, you're getting a real lid. I was looking for one of them silicone. Mama ain't fun with that. Let's go over here and sit down. My coffee's probably cold. Tell us what you're eating while our cornbread finishes and our carrots finish. I'd rather wait an extra 10 as to not have it just like I want it. I want them carrots good. The one I tasted the first time, it was tender. We had chicken burrito. Ooh. I've been looking for some new recipes. I found us a few. And about 3 out of 4 of them, on average, has been Mama approved. There was some of them she said, now you might eat that. There was a couple of them she said, what is that?
That's right.
I said, well, it ain't hot. It's good. One of them had what was it? You asked me, enchilada sauce? Red sauce or something.
No, it wasn't red sauce.
Red enchilada sauce.
I think so.
She said, what's that? I had sandwiches tonight. Joey, sometimes we do too.
Don't fuss.
Sometimes we have sandwiches too. That I'm telling you, we're going to find her quite her hobby. Hello from Oswego, Illinois. Hey, Rick, I know about y'all. There's Oswego's, New York, and Illinois. You're Illinois, aren't you? Yeah. And there's Oswego, New York, too. Good evening. I'm from West Monroe, Louisiana. Well, hello, Debbie. Stuffed peppers. We had them the other night. They were good.
Yeah, they were real good. Don't fuss at me.
Short arms. It's 24/7. She can do without it for 5 minutes. Don't come after me. Here, Mama, drink that ice water. That's what your body needs. Some ice water.
I filled it back up all the time.
You're good. Stuffed peppers, Pamela. We had that the other day. In fact, I had them for lunch one day. Again, after that. Cornbread's got another 2-3 minutes. Them carrots probably got another 4, 5, maybe more. Well, how come you're frozen?
Oh, it won't do nothing.
How come y'all stopped? As the comments ended. Let me slide the comments off and then slide them back over. Oh, there they come back.
Are they on there now?
I don't know. Hey, John and Mama from Groves, Texas. Hey, Linda.
Oh, wow.
Goulash. Now, Charlene, that's one of my favorites, really. It's goulash.
I like goulash, too.
OT hit what I'm having, stuffed peppers. Yeah, that's good. Spanish rice for supper. We had that not Spanish. We had rice and chicken. Fried rice and chicken. Fried chicken tenders, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. Now, Pat, that's one of Mama's favorites. Anytime you can give Mama a chicken tender, she's pretty well happy with that. Mama, I didn't get a plate out.
I'll get one.
There's one in the drainer. Right there it is. Or you could even do it on that cutting board.
Oh, well, I'll put it on the cup. Oops.
Oops-a-daisy. I was ready to eat tonight, and it's quick and easy. Fixing them in the... I had checked them till y'all got here, what I put in the... up there. I should have probably turned them on another 2 or 3 minutes in the microwave. But the potatoes were soft, so the carrots are going to be your hardest... Well, maybe not everybody's, but...
Ready.
Carrots are my hardest vegetable to get done, and I cut those up into thirds and fourths and fifths. Some of them, the smaller, the easier they are to cook. Tupperware. Where did you get your steamer bowl, Vicky?
It's a stack cooker.
Katrina, that's a stack cooker, and that's one bowl, one lid out of the whole thing. You can stack up your whole meal, put it in the microwave, cook it in layers. Just about like that multi-cooker, but it's a little different. But we use that stack cooker
A lot.
a lot.
Makes great baked potatoes.
It makes everything. And you can make, like it says, you can make your potatoes, your vegetable, and your meat, and your dessert in that one thing. Just stack it up. It comes all over the top. We've done it. You can bake a cake in it. Mama's brother was passing away, actually. He was sick. And he wanted cake, and Mama wanted to get it done quick. So she made a bundt cake in about 10, 15 minutes, took it to him, and he was able to have cake.
Yeah.
And the cake
A
was
few
delicious.
bites, that's what he wanted.
The cake was delicious. We've made cakes in it before. Them carrots ain't got a chance, have they, Mama?
No, they're pulling out.
You're going to let them boil, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm just going to try to fix this lid.
Oh. You want to put a wooden spoon in it? No. Yeah. Anyhow, they're softening as I hear. I cut carrots into thin slices. Cooks so nice. Yeah, Linda, I do that, and I understand what you're saying. But preferably, I would love to have big old chunky carrots in there. And you can if you bake them in a crock pot or you bake them a long time. But I want things fast and good, and you can't have it all. When I make certain things, I want my carrots real small, and it don't matter. And if I'm going to boil them on the stove, to have like as a side, I definitely use sliced ones or just canned ones. But in a beef stew or something like that, I like big old chunky potatoes, big old chunky carrots. And if you're going to have big old chunky, you're going to have quick cook. Can't have it all. I'm tired. Got up early. Got up before early. We got up so early it was late when we got up. True. We went to the doctor. It didn't take, whole thing didn't take 15 minutes.
After we got.
I said, Mama, did they look at you funny? Did they say, oh, you're going to be happy with the result? She said they said when they read it, they'll call you. I said, that was harsh.
She won't tell you nothing.
They can't tell you nothing. But the hard part is waiting. Mama, you let me get that?
No.
I bought you that fancy thing up on the top. Here comes Mama. Let's watch this.
Brown.
It's brown to perfection. I hear it sizzling. Comes right out of that pan.
No, it's not. Oh, there it did.
That's a perfect piece of cornbread. Ain't it?
Very good.
20 minutes in that little easy bake. It take about 30 in the big oven. Carrots were ready, except for you. So what are y'all eating? I've seen some good stuff fly by here. I found a new pizza thing. The reason I call it pizza thing is it's not your traditional. It's a pizza casserole. And a lot of pizza casseroles I just don't think I would like. I don't know, Mama. Anyway, a lot of pizza recipes, they do biscuits or something like that. This uses crescent rolls, and it's more of a casserole. It's a deep dish kind of thing. So I kind of like the looks of it. We may try it one night. Mama does like pizza. How's your carrots, Mama?
I hope they're done with that.
Now, Mama, are you sure? Mama says they're done.
We're gonna eat them.
Now, looky here, looky here. Now, we like ours good and juicy. Even though I put that flour in there, and this will thicken back up. And I tell you what makes your stews and stuff.
Knife handy?
I've got a Tupperware one over here I can use. I'll tell you why these. I'll use this one right here. And I got butter over here too, Mom. I tell you why your stews and your soups a lot of times will start out soupy and then they thicken because of this little culprit right here. That potato's got a lot of starch in it. Now I pre-cooked it so it'll have less and added it in here. But if you start your potatoes out in here with your other stuff, it's going to get a little bit thick because of the starch. If you start your noodles out in here, Mama's want me to cut this cornbread. Y'all hold on 1 minute. If you start your noodles out in there, it's also gonna thicken. So when I make soup, and you all know, I love nothing better than a one-pot wonder. And soup can be that. But if I'm making soup, I always cook my potatoes separate. And I rinse them before I put them in my... I just slung cornbread across the top. And I rinse them before I put them in there. And I do the same with my noodles. I don't add my noodles dry in the soup. And I don't cook my potatoes in my soup. And here, you want the butter? Mom, we didn't get any cornbread.
Yeah, I want some butter on it.
But we didn't get any cornbread platters out.
Oh, we did. I'll lay it on the napkin.
Is that what you want?
I want it down in there some too.
Just scoop off what you want, Mama. Just put a little bit on top of that one right there and I'll eat it in a minute. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Alright. So, remember that little trick if it matters. Now, some people like it thick, and that thickens it. I don't like soup thick or this beef stew thick. So that's the reason I just put a little bit, because I do want gravy. But now this broth and all that, and it'll thicken as it gets a little bit more. Are you ready?
Down, yeah.
All right, Mama, let's try it. That's a good portion.
Oh, wow.
But thickness of your stews and
I
your...
don't need no more. I don't need that.
I like a tater or two on the whole thing. I don't like them gaps.
Oh, I've
But-
got enough meat to do for an army.
But the thickness is a preference. And Mama, what do we like? We like soupy soups and soupy stews. I guess the reason we like them is we like to sop up in the cornbread.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this meal. We thank you for providing it for us, dear Lord. And dear Lord, we just thank you that we're able to sit here together and partake it. That's the most important thing, dear Lord. And dear Lord, we just ask you to watch over us, watch over our friends. They have prayer requests, they have needs, and Lord, we just pray that you'll answer them in your due time and your will, dear Lord. And dear Lord, we just pray that you'll be with our nation, be with our world. Watch over the children, dear Lord. Put a hedge of protection around them, whether in their schools, and be with us in all that we do and say. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Mama.
Oh.
It looks delicious. I want to try this big, thick carrot. Just out of curiosity.
No, it's still there.
It's softer. It's good for me. The potatoes are done.
Mm-hmm.
What's the soup taste like?
It's good.
All except it needs salt.
Mm-hmm.
You want some of your salt?
No. I'll just eat it like it is.
That's what we've started doing pretty much, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just eat it. Just eat it like it is.
Ooh. You can tell it's just right off the stove.
Mm-hmm. It could use salt. I ain't gonna lie. But we used to it now. Put a little salt in yours. If no salt makes us good, we'll do it, won't we, Mama?
I hope it's doing good.
You can't go no salt, but you can go low salt. Them onions is flavored that stew so good.
Oh, yeah. It's good flavor.
And the pepper. And there was a little salt in that broth, so it's got plenty.
And
I
the
tell you
meat
what,
was seasoned.
the meat was seasoned, but
Not
not
with
much
salt.
salt, just...
Other stuff you put on it.
And the gravy. Oh, you know what I should have done? We had a thing of gravy in there.
It would have made it real thick, though, probably.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about the gravy. I was just thinking about the meat. One of my favorite things in beef stew has always been the onion. I love that flavor. It's 49 degrees. This would have been extra good last week. It's extra good today, though. Very tasty.
That's good anytime.
It's not as good as yours. Might be as good as yours today, though, honey.
Yeah.
You can't use no salt either.
We're learning to do better.
And it's not been terrible.
No. Everything's good.
Right here's what's good. That tastes like I won a prize.
Mm.
Little cornbread in here. We may have a drop of cornbread left. The last few times we've made it, we've not got it all ate before we had to throw it out. But we used to, like, if we had cornbread, before we went to bed, we'd probably have cornbread and milk.
Mm-hmm. But we eat so late now, we can't.
Right, and we don't want it. That beef stew just needs a big old hunk of cornbread, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you enjoy your supper tonight as much as we're enjoying ours. I don't know what we might get into. We talked earlier about putting a puzzle out. We've got a Coca-Cola puzzle we're just dying to get into. One of y'all seen it. I don't know. It may be hard.
It looks hard.
We may have to call reinforcements in.
My oldest sister, she'd make them in no time.
Oh, yeah.
May have. Ooh, I'm sorry. I left my fork.
Well, you ain't made no noise in a little while, Mama. We
I'm
expect
making
it.
up for it now.
Stews are thicker than soups and are not have a lot of liquid. If you tend to like the thinner, you're having soup. Okay, Mary, we'll have soup then. Not stew, she said. Mary, whatever this right here is good. Soup, stew, whatever you want to call it. You can make it thicker. Just add more flour in the beginning. But I knew how I wanted it. And I like it.
Or you could add cornstarch right now and make it.
Oh,
thick
yeah.
as you want it.
If you get to the end and it's not thick as you want it, make a slurry out of cold water and cornstarch. About 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of cold water. You can thicken that up as thick as you want. You could cut it in the morning. So, it's good. Beef stew. Beef stew is sort of one of those things like meatloaf sandwiches. We'll fix a big pot roast sometimes if we get in the mood for beef stew, because we know after we get through with the pot roast we're going to have our stew. Sometimes we'll mention the leftover before we mention the first, because that's what we're looking for.
I always made beef stew after a big pot roast.
Mm-hmm.
Or not pot roast, a chuck roast. Or
A lot of times we'd have enough left. We could have beef stew one day and open face roast beef and another. For 3 meals out of it.
The roasts are not as big as they used to be in the store, unless you have them special cut, because they're so expensive.
Another thing I've noticed, I remember when I was a kid, you would make your roast in those granite oval, and they would be that thick, and you'd slice them.
Yeah.
Now, they're about like that usually.
A rump roast is thicker than
Yeah.
a chuck roast.
All right, let's come up here. I can't read it. Good evening. Hello, John and Momma. Here from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Yum.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Delania? I may have messed your name up. I apologize. I like my soup a little thicker. A lot of you will. I freeze my leftover cornbread. Lynn, do you freeze it and reuse it as cornbread? Or do you freeze it and put it in your cornbread dressing or something? Prayers for everyone that needs one tonight. Yes. Where's the beef? That fell out. Well, it's in there. There's beef in there.
Look in my plate.
See all that? See them chunks right there? If it was thicker, they may show up more.
I've eaten each stick, got 3 big pieces and little pieces.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. Now, different people like it different. You do you. You do you. That's what I say. It's your kitchen. Looks so delicious from Missouri. Well, thank you, Miss Linda. It is delicious. Hey, J.A. A lot of people use Lipton onion soup, J.A. Brooks. I'm not the biggest fan of Lipton onion soup. You'll see me use it occasionally. There's a dip or two that we added to cream cheese, sour cream or something. But it's not my favorite. Now, Kimmy makes her own Lipton onion soup. Now, I might like it better. But there's something about the onions in the Lipton onion soup. I gotta be ready for it. We're talking about making Granny steak and Granny coleslaw because the 22nd was her birthday. So we're going to maybe have her birthday dinner one day this week. And you'll see some Lipton onion soup in that because that's what she used. I'm having fish sandwich and steamed broccoli. Paula, don't tell Mama. She's been wanting fish. But now let me tell you something about Mama. She wanted fish Saturday, was it? She was mentioning it? Friday night, maybe. Or Saturday.
One night, I don't know.
And I asked her, I said, Mama, I want to lay that fish out. Nah, I don't think I want it now. You got to strike when the iron's hot.
That's right.
Are you wanting fish now, Mama?
No, this is real good now.
She don't want fish. She wanted it one day, 1 minute. And when we didn't fix it then, you ain't going to hold off. Now, me, when I get out of my mind, I can wait until I get it. And I'm still wanting it. Sometimes I get flavors. But I will say, like, sometimes I can fool myself. I've got my oldest friend in the whole wide world. She makes the best peanut butter roll. She made me some for Christmas. She knew what I wanted. It's the best.
Wonderful.
But sometimes I get to craving it. Now, all I have to do is call her up and say, hey, can you make me some shit? Have it made. She's just that sweet. But sometimes when I really get to craving it, and I think you don't need it, I can take some peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, put half on the spoon, half on the other side of the spoon. I need a spoonful of that, and it takes care of my craving.
Yeah.
Another thing I do, Mama can vouch for this, and Mama made ugly faces at me when the first time she noticed I was doing it, but now I think I caught her doing it not long ago. Sometimes I love pancakes and eggs and sausage. Ooh. That's a big breakfast. And we used to have it a lot more often. But I learned what I was really craving was maple syrup. I can take scrambled eggs and 1 piece of toast, and I can squirt a tablespoon of pancake syrup on the side of my plate and put my eggs in it a little bit. And it satisfies my craving for the pancakes and all the mess. And I've saved tons of carbs and tons of calories just by getting the flavor of the eggs and the syrup. Now, I don't want syrup on my eggs. I didn't say that. I want my eggs and a little bit of syrup on the side. And just sort of like you do when you eat pancakes. And your eggs get into your syrup. That's about what I want. And I can eat that and not think another thing about a pancake. And boy, have I saved some calories with that mess.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes you can fool your brain.
We had blueberry waffles. It's been a little...
Blueberry
back.
waffles Saturday before last, or last
I can't remember.
Saturday before last, we had them. Just the small waffles with some fresh blueberries. It was
It's been
good.
a while. It's been a week or so.
Were y'all here? Or did we tell you about them? Usually, anytime we sit down here, we'll start eating. We think about y'all, and even if we start and then holler at y'all to come on in, we usually think about. I don't remember if we showed you this blueberry waffles or not. But fish sandwiches, that sounds good. What's your favorite kind of fish? You know what I would really love to have? Now we have found. Mom will have to help me with the name. Tyson's chicken tenderloin.
Southern tenderloin.
Southern tenderloin is our favorite chicken tenders out of the store, frozen. They taste so close to homemade tenders if you fix them right. And we squirted a little bit of oil on them, put them in the air fryer. But they taste so good. They're so close that I hardly wouldn't fix them for the difference. Just like them instant mashed potatoes the other night. Folks, those mashed potatoes was really, really close to homemade. So if you want to quick get by with something every once in a while, if you find you a few products that you can get by with on a weeknight when you really don't want to cook, but you want something good to eat, you don't want a sandwich or something, bowl cereal. I would love to find some good fish that would answer the call of buying the fish and letting it thaw out and battering it and breading it and frying it, and you all know the whole routine. If I could find a frozen fish, and none of them that y'all suggested yet has hit the mark on what I've tried. Gorton's, don't get it. There's some more that they've tried that you suggested that don't quite meet that mark of fooling with the fish. Maybe you just can't find it duplicated in the stores. But I'd love to have a go-to frozen fish, even if I had to order it from here, that we could get. Or a catfish even, like a good catfish that I could batter and do cornmeal for Momma. That would be good. Because we go out and get that when we really want to have that.
I'm ready to go get some of that one day.
We're back on the fish. See how quick that happened? I told you. Now tomorrow, when I ask her, Mama, you want me to go get that fish? She'll say, no, I ain't in the mood for it now.
Well, it's have to be in the mood. But you can go get it already fried.
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to fool with it. I like that better.
I like that part too.
Because once you handle it and fix it, it kind of gets me off of the notion of eating.
And you can get the whole works. And we can make 2 or 3 meals out of it. Because there's a lot of it. We could technically half a meal, Mama. Because you get 2 big old pieces of fish and a baked potato big as a football.
Oh, it's not hardly that big. Not a football. Kids' football, maybe.
It's big. It's big. You gotta eat that protein, Mama.
I've eaten.
Let me call your doctor right now.
Call her.
She'll say, leave her alone.
That's right. She's on my side.
You did eat good, Mama.
I did. I ate real good.
From Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hey, Deborah.
Ooh. Well, hello there.
Dorothy says, looks so good. Good afternoon, John. Mama from Charleston, Tennessee.
Wow.
Folks, that's all we got tonight. It feels like it should be cold, but it's 49. I mean, I don't think it's cold.
It's warmed up, and I've been cold for the last 2 days, bad. Ever since it warmed up, I've been cold. Yeah. I've been colder.
It feels like, and I heard something weird. I shouldn't even mention it on here. Have y'all heard anything about a warm up coming? A weather pattern that we're fixing to get warm and stay warm in this area? I mean, like, winter's over. Have you heard that?
No, I didn't hear
I
it.
heard it on the Facebook. It's like an El Nino or El something other. Oh, you know when it comes through and it changes our weather pattern for several months. What they were saying is it's fixing to get warm, and you're going to see 60s and 70s, and even some of you folks in Florida down Louisiana you get 90s in February. But it ain't going to come back. Winter ain't coming back. It's just going to start getting spring in a week or so and be spring right on through because this pattern don't end until March.
Mother Nature knows we're having to pay big old heat
Have you
bills.
been praying for spring?
Oh, I've been praying for warmer
Mama,
weather.
do you realize if it gets warm...
The air conditioner will be going.
No, I wasn't even thinking about that. Do you realize if it gets warm...
I can plant gardens sooner.
We can start planting in maybe a week or so. Now, I don't know, that's not official, but they were talking. You know how you have people pop on and say, are y'all aware that there's a weather pattern? I'm like, no, a what?
I can sow lettuce and onions if I could get onion seeds.
I guess technically we could go ahead and sow lettuce and onions in a week or two anyway.
Yeah.
We no matter what the weather does. But usually we warm up and then we get cold again, and then in March it gets cold again. But it might be interesting to have an early spring. I just hope it don't warm up. The buds come out, dogwoods, azaleas come popping out, forsythias.
And it freezes them and they all die.
That's a sad time.
All them orange trees and fruit trees in Florida with the ice and snow on them was heartbreaking to see.
We don't want to talk about eggs no more. Eggs. I seen somebody was talking about $18.99 a dozen.
18? I heard you say 11 or 13. But
That was on here the other night.
Mm-hmm.
This was on the Facebook.
I didn't see that either. I don't get the same Facebook
I was
stuff
just
you
wondering,
do.
what am I going to eat for breakfast?
Oatmeal.
It'll be oatmeal and grits.
I fixed your grits other
Uh-huh.
morning.
But you also had eggs. There'd be no eggs. It'd be grits, oatmeal. We'll split an egg.
I know a couple that used to split egg sandwiches. They'd fix an egg and fix sandwiches for their lunch.
$18.99.
That was when they was cheap, though. They just didn't eat much.
You remember all them deviled eggs I was packing out of here to churches and stuff?
They won't see no more deviled eggs for a long time, will they?
Also, you can't find chuck roast with a bone in it anymore.
This one didn't have a bone, did it?
You're right, Melissa. I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed, ain't it? Things is a change.
Used to, I could look at a cut of meat and tell what it was, but nowadays I can't. I know a rump roast is usually a big, thick roast. Little, but thick.
Nancy, the part she had to do was a breeze. There was nothing. It was just the echocardiogram. It's just waiting on those results. And all they did was just done the echocardiogram to see if the bottom of her heart's responding the way they want to. But I really have good faith because it was down to 22. She had the procedure, took some medicines, went to the heart failure clinic. She's done good. And in 2 weeks,
Uh-oh.
2 weeks to you're not hitting the right button, Mama.
I'm hitting.
2 weeks to the day, it had gone from 22 to 34.1. We've waited 4 more weeks, 5, and I'm hoping it's gone from 34 to 50 or 60. Now, this is what we go through all the time. That's not the bad one. The bad one that makes a different sound is when the rhythm of the heart has changed. This one here is saying one of your little discs have flipped. Sometimes at night it goes off 3, 4, 5, 6 times that I'm on.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're laying in bed and you're laying on them and they flip. Now that would have sent both of us into a panic in September.
When I first put it on.
You should have seen the first time it went off. It didn't even go
You're
off.
going to hear what it does when you have to.
First time our alarm went off because I opened the back door and I heard this beep, beep.
See, it's getting red and beeps different.
And then it
To
buzzed.
activate device, press
And it was the house alarm going off. And we thought it was that. We was trying to shut that off and it wasn't even shut on. It was funny now. It wasn't funny when we thought we was going to get electrocuted. Mama said, it's going to shock me. I said, I'm right here with you. It's going to shock me too. Because it'll say, stand back.
Bystanders, stand back. Do not in.
I was right there on it. It's going to shock me too. Because here we go, Mama. It wasn't even on.
That was the first day, first night and day. It was, didn't know what we
That was
doing.
when it was, afterwards it was funny.
We laugh about it now.
Mom, what are you going to do with all this stew? You should have invited 6 people.
You should have not made so much.
I really didn't
You
make
go
that
crazy.
much. I didn't make that much.
You cut up a big bunch of carrots,
What?
a big bunch of carrots.
1 pack of carrots, one little miniature packs of carrots, 1 onion, and you made what, 4 or 5 potatoes? And one of them was something that was little. I mean, it don't take long to get a whole pot of stew.
That's why you do soup. You end up with a big pot.
That's because you open up so many cans. But we'll eat it. That'll eat a minute.
Yeah.
I don't care a bit to eat that for supper again or for lunch. Mom, you got anything you want to add?
No.
Folks, we're going to say good night. Y'all have a blessed night. Do something
Yeah.
fun. Make some memories. If you can't make a memory tonight, if it's too late, make a memory tomorrow with your family. Do something fun. If you can at all. Try to get you life, work, stress, balance, and balance. That's what I'm trying to do.
When I took they did the EKG over the bed, there's a sign that says, you bloom from within yourself. And
Right.
like a flower, it had flowers on it. And I said, that's right. You have to.
You have to bloom within yourself. And another thing, and this hit home to me, I read it on one of them little things. It's come across the Facebook about 2 or 3 months ago, and it said, if you're waiting to be happy, you'll never be happy.
Mm-mm.
If you're waiting to get out of school and then things will change and you'll be happy.
No.
If you're waiting till you retire,
That's the worst way of all. You get fooled.
you gotta just be happy today. And then when those things come to pass as they normally would, you be happy that day too. That made a little sense to me. So I'm trying, and I've been trying. Just be happy, if you can at all.
You know, they say laughter's a good medicine.
Find a little joy. I've also read this before.
And I laugh a lot.
I'm not a scientist, so I don't know if it's true or not. But our brains don't know. Your brain don't know if you're really laughing or if you're fake laughing. It'll release the same endorphins.
So just laugh. Huh?
So when you're brushing your hair in the morning, you're getting your teeth ready, just laugh.
When I get up, I laugh at my hair anyway.
Your brain's going to say, boy, they happy. Let's put some endorphins in their system. You'll find the time you get ready to get out the door, you're in a good mood because all that laughter that you've been doing. I don't suggest you do that, people watching, though, because somebody might call somebody.
I wouldn't care if they's watching.
What's wrong with him? If I come through your life and Mama say, ooh, what's wrong with him?
I say, you sure are happy now.
I am happy the mornings, aren't I, Mama?
Yeah.
I'm a morning
And he
person.
whistles and goes on. That's a sign of happiness if somebody's whistling going on.
Time me and Mama see each other for the first time in the morning, I'm ready. I'm ready to go, ready to get going, ready to do what I need to do. And I'll say, well, good morning, Mama. We eat, or what we going to do now? At the door I go. I love to get up early. Now, this morning I got up a little extra early. But
I got up early, for sure.
yeah,
for
you
me.
got up real early. You got up my normal time, and I got up at some unusual time. We want to be ready.
I had my shower took and everything. I don't think my eyes opened till I got up the door.
But I love to get up early. When we go camping, which that's another lifetime, we used to camp every weekend. We had a camper. And I was always the first one, or one of the first ones in the whole campground to go out and build a fire, put the coffee out. Usually there'd be one or two others come out, and they'd start. And before long, the whole campground smelled like fresh brewed coffee. That was my favorite thing about camping, is watching the sun come up in the morning, sitting there drinking a cup of coffee. So that's the reason I got a fire pit in the front yard and a fire pit in the backyard. I got one in the front yard so I can see the sun come up. That's the east. But with work, I don't go out there and build a fire. But on Saturday mornings in the fall, in the spring, a lot of times I like to go out and build a fire early in the morning. Sit out there in the swing and drink my coffee and watch the sun come up and hear the birds.
You sat out on the porch one of them cold mornings.
I
Wasn't
love sitting
deathly
on the
cold,
porch.
but it was cold. Too cold for me to be out there.
Folks, I just now looked up there in that corner and my phone said, you better hurry, you're about out of juice.
No.
It's on 2.
Oh, that's
Y'all have a blessed night. Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you all.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.